Jet Racing 365, the only podcast about jet racing.
We will have the greatest jet racing discussions, interviews, and news. This is Jet Racing 365 with Tyler Haynes Jackson and
Taylor Larson.
Jet Racing 365.
We're here with Jet Racing 365, a Hobby Haul episode for August 14th/15th. And we're at the Jet Racing 365 corner with our beautiful display.
Yep. Okay, folks, we're really not at
we're
Jet
not.
Racing 365 corner. Last night's episode did not go so hot.
No, it didn't.
We must have jumped up or something, and when we did so, it shut the mic off.
So the last half of it's just dead air, except for the music at the end. Yeah, that didn't go well at all.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit. This sucks. I don't know.
We're going to just do what we kind of did last night, but without interruptions, you know. That episode is deleted now, so don't try to listen to it. Because it's just a waste of space, because we can only have a certain amount of hours on our Spreaker deal. Of course, old episodes always just go to the archive anyway, so it doesn't matter, but... You know, so we're talking about a Jet Racing 365 display. It's really great. What's your favorite part of the display?
I really like how everything's set up. You know, I just appreciate everything that the Hobby Hall has done for us. And I really just enjoyed everything.
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 And so, of course, you happened to get on the news
Yes.
on Sunday. Tell us a little bit about that story and how that ended up happening.
Well, I don't really know how that happened. They just called me at 3:30 and they're like, "Dude, you need to get down here at 5:30." I'm like, "Okay, I'll be down here at 5:30." They wanted to interview us, so I ran outside screaming, "It's already in the news!" So I got a hold of Taylor. He's already at the ferry. He spent 6 hours going home.
And by the way, that part wasn't true either. I actually had someone go get it for me, which was very nice of them. So I didn't really miss anything, but I didn't even get on. It was like a 2-minute interview for 20 hours of worrying about it.
I know.
Crazy, but anyway. So, we're here now in Studio B for Jet Racing 365. We do have a brand new video out of the fair. We, of course, went to the fair last night. We were at the Hobby Hall and recorded an episode. We also went on a lot of rides. And why don't you tell them a little bit about what we have on our fair video?
Well, you know, we've got basically just a lot of the rides that we went on, except for Speed. We didn't go on Speed.
No, we did not go on Speed.
That would have been scary.
And we definitely wouldn't have been taken on board.
Yeah, I know. We went on the Gravitron, and we went on the...
We went on the Tilt-A-Whirl, the Zipper, the Tornado, the Moby Dick, the Thunderbolt. I think that's all we went on, actually. Oh, we went on the Scrambler.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone kept smashing me.
Tornado.
I said Tornado. So yeah, we got onboard footage of the monster trucks. I went on the monster truck ride with a little colleague of mine. Not really a colleague, but he's someone I know. And, you know, he's crazy, and I went on the monster trucks with him, and he loved it, and I loved it too. Monster trucks was a great ride, so we got onboard footage of the monster truck ride, and the Tilt-A-Whirl, and there's my watching the episode again. And the Zipper, and the Gravitron, aka Starship 2000, aka Starship 4000.
Yes.
So, you know, that I was reading about that thing. Apparently one time in like the 90s, it like spun itself apart.
Whoa.
I don't know how that happened, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen again. And if it does, that'll be a major problem.
With the Scooter.
What?
Scrambler, right?
No, the Gravitron spun itself apart.
How would that happen?
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't mean to send that to you. I meant to send it to my dad.
Oh, oh.
I'm trying to fix things with my iPod and his, and things are just not doing so hot.
So, yeah, we actually had a little incident with our iPods last night.
Or they completely answered that.
So we were like epically spamming each other with like a ton, like 1,000 faces in one
There's
message.
probably like 6 million there. I'm gonna kill you.
And you know, it overloaded our messages program. and it wouldn't let us do anything. We'd just bring it up and it'd crash, bring it up, crash. So we were able to like log out, log back in, get into it for like a minute before it froze, and in that minute before it froze, we were able to delete all those messages that were making it do that. So we're good now. That was a crazy incident there. But you know, this episode's about the hobby halt. You know, so
go check us out. Vote for the People's Choice Awards for it. Hopefully it'll win.
yes, hopefully, you know, it won last night. We had a lot of people voting for it last night, mainly because we were sitting there doing a podcast, and we actually left our chairs in the display.
Yeah.
That was a slight problem, but oh well. If they move the chairs, I wonder where they're going to put the sign.
No, I put the sign back.
Oh, you did?
Not there.
That's true. All right, so... You know, I got People's Choice, actually,
Yes, you did.
for my Star Wars display, because I am amazing like
yes,
that.
Yes, you are.
Yep. And so, right now we want to give a shout out to a few of our great sponsors. The first sponsor we want to thank is Haynes Jet Racing.
For being there as everything as our supporter.
Yes, with Volcano, because Gravity Storm is exploded. Not quite exploded, but not around, because we all know, blah, 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 DJ shoots, crash, sand, yeah.
Yep.
And our second sponsor is Muy Caliente Racing.
Hold on, folks. They got sirens outside.
Well, we're going to talk past those sirens. Muy Caliente Racing jet dragsters with terminal velocity and the missile.
You know,
They're great, folks. They have brand new shirts.
Yes, they do. They're awesome shirts.
They are amazing shirts. We have CO2 cars for you. They supply our premium CO2 cars.
We also have the Earth Flight Jet Dragster team.
We do. And we also have Beckman Racing, which is Nitro Harleys with Andy Beckman. And he wants you all to remember one thing. If you hit the brakes in this car,
In a jet car.
which is Gravity Storm, you'll crash and you'll be dead.
Yes.
So don't hit the brakes in Gravity Storm.
Or any jet car.
We also have Powder Coat Unlimited
Brought
with
to you by CW.
CW. He also owns YDS.
Yes.
When average just isn't good enough. We also have Thunderstruck Jet Dragster with Bill Decker.
Bill Decker?
Bill Decker, who sent us like 40 photos for our photo gallery. Really nice of him to do that.
Also on board is Red's Prints and Signs. Doing shirts and decals and whatever you needed Red to do, she'll do it.
She did our sign. They might do our shirts. You just never know. We also have Jet FX, which used to be Invader Motorsports, with Kurt Iredam, who was on our last show. Not actually our last show, but he was our last interview. What's with all the sirens
I
today?
don't know. I think there's a fire outside.
I don't know. Maybe we should look if there's a fire outside. It's like it's right outside the window.
Oh, it's not gonna hurt anything. Not gonna hurt studio.
We also have two brand new sponsors, Gatsby Jet Car Racing and Blue by You2, who I designed the logos for, and they love them.
Yes. They
Yeah,
do.
so of course there's all links to everything, you know. Bill Decker doesn't have a website or anything.
No, he doesn't, which is really shocking.
So his sponsorship thing just links to our photo gallery of him.
Yes.
So that's nice. Go check out those photos. He sent us a lot. Of course, and one of the most memorable Bill Decker moments from this year is when Mark Stevens blew a fuel line.
He didn't blow up your line.
He did. And Tyler was in a big panic. He's like, no, this is bad. This is really bad. Run away. This is not good for a jet car. This is big problems for Mark Stevens. Bill Decker is running to the scene. Made it sound like
It's such an end of the world.
yeah,
Gotta get that fuel out in. There's blue, big problem.
big problem. Tyler's being really weird. It's like this is Podcast Jam or something. He's just trying to ruin it again.
No, it's just, it's not near as
Playing this
exciting.
weird squirrel thing.
It's actually...
Oh, it's a mouse.
It's a mouse.
Sorry, guys. It's a mouse.
Cheerio, fast mouse.
No! We should do no mouse. we should talk a little bit about our YouTube channel and why people should subscribe to that.
Epic face palm from Taylor Larson.
Yeah, you could probably hear that one. So on our YouTube channel, we've got a lot of behind-the-scenes videos. Look at that.
Yo.
This is not going well.
No.
We have a lot of behind-the-scenes videos. I mean, we got us, our full interviews from the news. We have those up on our YouTube channel. We have the interview they showed on the news. Some of our podcasts go to YouTube. We have that big 10-minute video of onboard footage of the fair. We have go-kart updates. We have videos of our Jet Racing 365 corner. We have CO2 car fire shows. We have just everything. And, of course, Jared Mott and his crew were really nice to let us go stand at the starting line, and along with the YDS crew. And
great guys, amazing deal. They're hoping to get on sponsors with us with the Fire for Hire Jet team.
That is true. Fire for
Don't
Hire.
know if that'll happen, though. That's the problem.
Don't know, but, I don't know if they want to sponsor a show where they play squirrels saying sponsors. Or mice. I don't know, guys. It's going to be kind of weird. And, coming up at YDS is 2 big weekends right in a row, August 24th and the 31st. And for the first one, Kurt Robinson's actually going to be up here. He's a guy who's got a jet truck. And it's silver, and it's called Jet Lag, and it's really amazing. It goes 500 miles an hour.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Not even close.
It probably goes like 50. But, going to be a great show with Kurt Robinson. He's got a Jet Lag jet truck. And, of course, on the August 31st and September 1st, which is the Labor Day weekend, you can see Ed Jones and Brent Jones with Jelly Belly Wheel Standers and the Lawless Racing Funny Car. And, of course, you never know. It might not be Brent Jones. It's just Northwest Funny Cars. But it's always Brent, so it's going to be Brent. Happy birthday. I don't know whose birthday it is, but it's someone's birthday.
When? What?
You're not paying attention. This is not good. This is going just like our special podcast jam.
Okay, what are we talking about?
We're talking about Ed Jones and Brent Jones.
What about him?
And we don't know it's going to be Brent Jones because they just said Northwest Funny Cars, but it's always Brent Jones, so happy birthday. But I don't know whose birthday it is.
Why? How do we know his birthday?
It didn't.
Then why just happy birthday?
Why did you play a mouse saying sponsors?
I don't know.
I don't know either. So we actually took the chopper out today. The Jet Racing 365 chopper.
Yes.
And how did the runs go?
The runs, they went pretty well. Did a little bit of Pro Stocks motorcycle positioning, and it was kind of weird. But it was, everything went good, and it was fun. Taylor, how do you think your passes went?
I thought my passes went pretty well. Of course, I haven't rode it for a while, so at first I was kind of getting used to everything, But after the first pass, it all went really well, And it's a nice chopper, and it's just great. It's really great, and it's great to be riding it. And I was thinking about something. We did an episode like 4 months ago. It wasn't that long ago, but it was a while ago. And I was going to get licensed on the chopper tomorrow. And tomorrow never happened.
That was not my fault.
So when's that going to happen?
I don't know.
What?
When it does.
How do you get licensed?
Folks, if you couldn't tell,
You talk like a mouse.
Bored. Yeah, okay, I'm done. I'll put it away. Okay, so wait, what was the question?
When am I going to get licensed?
When you pass your 500 lap test.
500 laps? We're not even doing laps. No! You said you were done.
I am.
You said that last time.
So, I don't know. This just doesn't work.
No one knows why it doesn't work. It just does not absolutely work, and it's really just crazy. But you know what? That's okay. So, are we still opening that? Do we still have that contest up on Facebook for naming the go-kart?
Yes, we do.
We do. So, go onto our Facebook page or text into the hotline or leave a voicemail to the hotline, which is 1 2,
7,
8,
1,
9.
2. No. I'm still working on the last 8 digits.
It's 1-727-819-7121.
That number again is 1, 7, 2, 7, 7, 9.
No!
Oh.
1-727-819-7121.
What's that area code?
It's obviously Florida because you called it and it was like Pete something Florida or something.
Yes, it was.
Looks like we have might be wrapping this podcast up early because I hired a professional taxi and they're about to come get me from Studio C. And they're actually on their way right now, so, I don't know how long this podcast will be running. It's already been running longer than we did yesterday since we accidentally turned the microphone off, apparently.
Told you should have brought the computer.
Maybe.
And a table.
Just hauling a table, hey guys. Well, it was a great episode, and this has been a great episode, so, well, it's not over yet, guys. Don't leave. Don't stop listening. It's not over. We, want to bring your attention to our photos section of our website. Because as you know, we always had photos on our website, but that's not exactly the case at the moment. Mainly because it's never going to be the case again, because we can only have a certain amount of photos on the website. So we reached that limit when I was trying to add the pictures of Jaron Mott's event.
Yes.
And that completely filled it up. After that, I couldn't add anything. So we decided move them all to Facebook. I decided to move them all to Facebook. Turn the music off. Moved them all to Facebook, and they're not on the website anymore. And you can still go to our website and click on the photos section, and it'll just take you directly to the albums on Facebook photos. So.
And what jet car is that?
That's jet lag.
Oh, I can't see it.
It's a jet truck, and it's silver. And it's driven by Kurt Robinson.
Kurt Robinson.
So, anything else you want to add about, the fair, or... Oh, so we had a question come in on our hotline. It was, what is your favorite ride at the Montana Fair? So, what's your favorite ride?
Mine is the Zipper. What's yours?
Mine would have to be the Zipper.
Yeah.
So, it's both a Zipper, And actually, on the Zipper last night, we went twice, 3 times? I think we went. We didn't go 6 times.
We should have.
We should have. Got the first time, we got a triple backflip. And I think that was when we had our on-board coverage going.
Yes, it was.
And then the second time, we got 5 consecutive backflips. Just bow, 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 bow. Just 5 backflips.
It was amazing.
It was amazing. It's the best ride ever. And we want to just buy a Zipper and do it all day, every day.
LOL.
Pretty sure that wouldn't exactly work well.
No.
Have to take some breaks here and there. But that's okay.
So what's the latest news in the jet racing world?
Well, there hasn't really been much news in the jet racing world lately. We have a bunch of new sponsors, and you spelled sponsor wrong on this article I just noticed.
I did?
Yep.
How do you spell sponsors then?
S-P-O-N-S-O-R.
That's what I do.
No, you say S-P... Okay, so speaking of spelling, he's filling out this application.
For a job.
For a job, and we're going to grab it here for the accurate effects here. Okay, so...
I have to get a new one. Remind me.
He does have to get a new one. This is crazy. So, how were you referred to us? By knowing Deeple there. At first it said Beeple, but then he fixed it so it said Deeple.
What happened? We don't really know.
Alright, so he doesn't really know why it says he knows Deeple there. He doesn't know if he can provide a work permit.
Oh.
And his special skills or qualifications are great personality, hard worker, serious, and professional. What happened there?
Well, I really don't know on that one. That one I just don't know.
Are you going to fill out the back?
You don't have to fill out the back. Read it.
Then why is it there? Oh. Well then.
And answer your question?
Yep.
You should come work at those watches with me.
You've worked for CO2 cards for you.
You should come work with me.
Say hi.
Yeah. Let me get you one more there.
So,
People.
we know a lot of people. Definitely. So.
Whoops, I didn't mean to hit it that time.
So, do you think you'll ever come back for any episodes of Podcast Jam?
Yeah, I'm hoping for the World Finals.
Do you even know when the World Finals is?
March 24th.
You were close. That's like March 21st.
I thought it was March 28th, but
What?
4th sounded better.
Let's take a look here at the official website of Podcast Jam, which does not exist, so we're going to monsterjam.com, which does give Podcast Jam a lot of its great information.
So how do you think my run went, according to me?
Not too good, because it kept backfiring, and that was just terrible. It was
That's
life-threatening.
true. The motor did.
Gonna die. The motor kept backfiring. We're gonna hold the microphone up to my mouth so you can't hear it. But, it was great. His passes were great, my passes were great. And, this is probably really loud. I hope it is.
I'm done.
And, Monster Jam World Finals.
Mark Monster Jam.
Speaking of Mark and Monster Jam. Oh, okay, after this. Monster Jam World Finals 15 is Las Vegas, Nevada, Sandboy Stadium, March 20th, 21st, and 22nd, 2014. Thursday, the gates open at 5 p.m., showtime is 6 p.m., pit party is at 11 to 5, and that's pretty much the same every day, and that doesn't matter. But do you think Podcast Jam will be doing that live this year? Next year?
Yes.
No
doubt about it. Right now, right then.
Right now isn't right then, though. It's kind of like in our last podcast, which you guys don't get to listen to. He's like, it's just great to have me, myself, and Taylor out here.
It was great to have me, myself, and Taylor out at the Montana Fair, as I was handcuffed. I was
Handcuffed. Okay, so we were sitting here. He was playing some Ghost Recon while I was drinking a Pepsi float. And
don't ask what that is.
It's a root beer float with Pepsi instead of root beer.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting there, and he's like, he comes across, he's going to the campaign. There's either co-op campaign or co-op something else. And he's like, what's Coop campaign? He was laughing. We were laughing for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's co-op campaign, not Coop campaign.
That made me laugh even more.
Yeah.
We're laughing for another 15 minutes.
So speaking of Mark and Monster Jam, okay, so Mark Schrader, he drives, he announces, he's just everywhere. And so we're watching Monster Jam from, where was it? Tampa? It was Tampa Freestyle. And Chuck Werner was driving El Toro Loco, and of course he has the snorter thing. And Mark Schrader's, they're watching the highlights, and Mark Schrader's like, I gotta tell these Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam fans something. When you see that El Toro Loco bull snorting, he's doing that. That doesn't just automatically happen. So let's see, you got 2 hands on the steering wheel, 1 hand on the shifter, 1 hand on the snorter. That means I got 4 hands. It's not going to happen. But it just happened. But it didn't happen because he didn't have 2 hands on the steering wheel, 1 hand on the shifter, 1 hand on the snorter. He had 1 hand on the steering wheel and 1 hand on the snorter because he was in midair. I mean, come on, guys. You don't have a hand on the shifter and 2 hands on the wheel when you're in midair if you're doing the snorter. It's not necessary.
It's not going to happen.
No, it's not. So another time, it was at the Georgia Dome Freestyle. Scott Hartsock did like a jump and pulled it on the pits. And Scott, he did like 1 jump and pulled it on the pits.
Yeah.
Scott was like, he is broke.
He's like, you see anything? I don't. I cannot see anything.
Can't see anything. So apparently Scott Hartsock lost all his money and Mark Schrader is blind. So that's interesting. That's really weird, but whatever. So what else we're going to talk about on Monster Jam?
We got Darren Doffett here tomorrow.
That is a long story. Okay, just listen to the Kurt Iredale episode and listen for Darren Doffett. That's the funny part right there.
The end.
So, yeah, it is the end. So just listen to that. I guess he doesn't want you to listen to the whole thing.
That too.
It was a pretty good interview.
It was.
What would you say has been our best interview so far?
Tony Schumacher.
I would agree, even though the first part got cut off
That
because of stuff. But that was okay. Yeah, that was a great interview. And, you know, we called him after that to do a drop because we had major problems the first time. And, and you know, it was
You didn't
just...
taste that, did you? Okay, good.
Tony Schumacher was an amazing interview. So we called him to get the drop because we had technical issues the first time. And so we thought he was watching a movie because he told us he was watching a movie. So we're like, well, Tony, we'll let you get back to your movie now. And he's like, no, man, I'm watching NASCAR. And I was like, yeah, NASCAR.
And I was like, oh no.
Yeah. And, you know, we asked him who his favorite driver was. And he's like, you know, I met all of them. You know, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gard, you know, they're really nice guys. So I don't know if he has a favorite or not, but they're all nice guys, apparently. Wonder if he's met, I don't know. Okay. Anyway.
Mr. Robinson. I don't know.
Mark was telling me about it. I've met him before. Why Mark made this tell you about it? Have you met him before? I was more referring to who? What? That's a long story. Listen to the part 2 of June 29th. So, our podcast was longer than the Thunder Jam was. That was interesting. And we have a texter texting in saying he's going to die of heat stroke.
Adam?
Yes. He's dying of heat stroke right now, guys.
I like it. Yeah, I'm like, Adam, and you're like, yes.
Yes. And that was amazing. So, I don't know, but we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left of this episode. I think we can finish this off. I'm surprised we made it through this with you being so crazy. Yeah, this is just like the special podcast, man. That was a puzzle.
What?
I mean, when I delete that one, I don't know if that one's going in the archive or not. It might just be gone forever. But it did have the grand entrance.
Well, we had the grand entrance, though, anyway.
But if we don't have Golia, you're bad!
Oh, what?
Yeah, we did a special podcast jam back in like June, I think, and Tyler just randomly walks in and he's like, Golia, you're bad! Talking to his dog, and he's like, not you, computer. And because we all thought he was telling the computer to go lay on his bed. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Go on your bed, computer!
do you have any final thoughts about the fair and the hobby hall and everything?
Just a great ordeal, you know, great extravaganza. It was really eye-catching. Our car.
The person behind the car.
No, we didn't have
Whole
it.
extravaganza is just really
We didn't have a
eye-catching.
person behind it. The whole display, it was just really eye-catching.
That was great. That was amazing. So, you know, we had a lot of kids coming up yesterday asking questions. And this is the grand
Of
entrance.
course, he kind of retired. It's the FBI. Move it in. That is not the FBI. Tyler Jackson has to step out of the studio for a while. Not you. No, that was the FBI. No, that was not the FBI. That was Tyler making his grand entrance. How about that return to podcast jam?
So that was his grand entrance. Yeah, that was great. You know, I think the hobby hall was great. It was great when we set up, and great now. People are just coming up and asking us questions and wanting our autographs. And someone actually gave us a checkered flag yesterday. We were like, well, thanks, man.
It was just awesome.
That was great. We got a free checkered flag for our display. That was really awesome to get that. So, thank all our sponsors again. Subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube, and like us on Facebook, and follow us on Spreaker, and listen to Podcast Jam every Monday/Tuesday/Wednesday, depending on when I make it. So, we are going for now. When do you think our next episode will be? Never?
Soon.
Soon.
Between now and when we do it.
So it's gonna be before we do it?
No. Between now and after it's done.
Possibly August 24th or August 31st. You never know.
Through August 23rd. Whoa!
What?
It's like a 7-day podcast.
I said or.
No, you said through.
Never mind. Bye, folks.
Goodbye.